So let me tell you one thing very well, that some of you keep saying to me that, sir, I have even failed in the state PCS. Okay, so how can I clear the UPSC if I have failed in the state PCS more than 3 times? Okay, so how can I qualify the UPSC then? Because it is the second toughest exam in the world. Okay, UPSC is the second toughest exam in the world. So if I if I have failed the state PCS itself 3 times, then how can I qualify the UPSC? Someone was asking me that also. So let me tell you one thing. Uh, Very simple reason is there for failure in exam. Although UPSC is a different exam, over here, even if you work very hard, okay, even if you give your 100%, okay, even if you give your 100%, suppose, okay, even if you give your 100% to this exam UPSC, there are only 80% of you getting IAS. Okay, only 80% chances are that you will get IAS in 6 attempts. In 6 attempts, I am saying. Okay, okay. Even if you give your 100% to this exam UPSC, only 80% chances are there that you will get the IAS in 6 attempts. Okay, so such low is the probability in UPSC. Okay, if you give 100%. But for state PCS, if you give 100% attempt, if you give your 100%, then there is 99.99% chances, 999% chances that you can get the service you want. Okay. So in state PCS, if you give your 100%, then 99.999% chances of success. But in UPSC, even if you give your 100%, only 80% chances of getting IAS in 6 attempts. Okay. So this is the harsh truth about UPSC. But let me tell you one thing very well, that if I leave this exam UPSC, okay, just put this exam apart for some time. Let me tell you one thing: for every other exam, like the state PCS, CSIR NET, okay, etc., etc., lot of exams are there. Okay, state PCS, CSIR NET, then your many exams, Falana Dimkana, okay, whatever may be there. Yeah, except UPSC, okay, except UPSC, okay, except UPSC. All this exam, the only reason for failure, or the only reason for failure of yours, is your lack of hard work as well as smart work. So the only reason for failure, if I leave this UPSC apart, because UPSC is an exception to this rule, because even if you give your 100%, even then there are only 80% chances that you will get IAS within 6 attempts. Okay, even if you give 100% in UPSC. So UPSC is a different exam altogether. In this exam, luck also plays a considerable role. In UPSC exam, luck also plays a considerable role. But if I talk about exams other than UPSC, okay, like the state PCS or CSR net or IIT JAM, or many exams are there, even including IIT JEE, NEET, etc. Okay, all these exams, Falana Dhimkana. So the only reason for failure of yours in these exams, the only reason for failures of yours is your lack of hard work as well as smart work. There is no other reason for failure. Only reason for your failure is that either you have done lack of hard work, or either you have done lack of smart work, or you have done both. Okay, some students work very hard but their work is not smart. Okay, some students work very hard but their work is not smart, so that's why they fail. But some students have both these problems. They neither work hard nor do they work smart. Okay, so the only reason for your failure is this. Okay, there is no need. Okay, there is no requirement of being super intelligent in clearing any of the competitive exams. Okay, there is no requirement of being super intelligent in clearing any of the competitive exams. Okay, there is no requirement of being super intelligent in clearing any of competitive exams. Let me give you one example. Okay, let me give you one example. The example which I can give you is that the when I was studying for IIT JEE. Okay, once upon a time when I was studying for IIT JEE, it's a very personal example, so let's not take this example. Okay, let's take example of someone else. Okay, let's take someone else's example. Suppose someone is preparing for IIT JEE. Okay, suppose someone is preparing for IIT JEE, and suppose his basic is very weak. Okay, his basic is very weak means throughout the career up to the 10th standard, this person was a failure. Suppose up to the 10th standard he used to fail in the science and maths. Okay, up to 10th he used to fail in science and maths, suppose. Okay, science and maths. Suppose such a student is there and he starts preparing for IIT JEE, and as soon as he enters the 11th standard, he finds that he is unable to compete with the other people because he was a failure up to 10th in science and maths. Okay, and now he is preparing for IIT JEE. So can such a person clear IIT JEE? The answer is yes, he can clear IIT JEE. The only thing is that this 11th standard person, now this failure person will have to start reading the books of 8th standard. From he will have to start his preparation from the 8th standard books, 8th standard, then 9th standard, then 10th standard books, then he will come to 11th, and then he will come, means he will have to do hard work from the back date. Okay, so he will have to do the hard work from the back date. But suppose there was a 10th topper. Suppose there was a 10th topper and he was a topper in science and math, suppose. Okay, but what happens is that as soon as he reached the 11th standard, he started ignoring, he became overconfident. He became, suppose, overconfident, and he started ignoring the studies. Okay, he started ignoring the studies. Then what will happen? What will happen is that he will fall apart. Okay, slow and steady wins the race. So suppose this failure student is a tortoise. Okay, this is a tortoise, and this is your rabbit. Okay, this tortoise rabbit story everyone has heard. Okay, so this is tortoise will start from 8th standard and will keep on moving, and this topper who is a rabbit will start from the 11th standard. He will study one day for 16 hours. Okay, and then he will sleep the another day for 19 hours, suppose. Okay, and then on the third day he will study for 2 hours, then on the fourth day he will study for 18 hours, then on the fifth day, means no consistency, then fifth day he will take a gap. Okay, so if such a thing is there with this rabbit topper, then believe me, this tortoise failure who has started studying from the 8th standard retrospective, he is studying retrospectively from the 8th standard concepts he is starting. But this, if he is suppose sincere, and he invests, suppose he invests 9 hours per day regularly, then this tortoise is going to win and this topper is going to lose. Okay, so this is the thing. This is an example I am telling you. Okay, so keep this thing in mind. There is no requirement of being super intelligent in clearing any of the competitive exams, and this includes UPSC. Okay, there is no requirement of being super intelligent. This include UPSC. Okay, so this thing you have to keep in mind. Okay, although the UPSC is such an exam that even if you give your 100%, okay, in all these 6 attempts, okay, in all the 6 attempts, even if you give your 100%, there is still only 80% chance of you being able to qualify the exam, because it is UPSC. It is highly unpredictable. It is very much, many luck factor are there in UPSC. Okay, so but except UPSC, for all the other exams, if you give your 100%, okay, in all the other exams except UPSC, if you give your 100%, then 99.999% chances are there that you will succeed in these exams, like state PCS, CSR net, IIT JEE, etc., all the other exams. Okay, so this thing you have to keep in your mind. Okay,